I am back with comic reviews, and I got a whole bunch here. I also have a few I just picked up recently that I haven't had a chance to sit down and read, so I'll do these next time. But today I'm doing some Batman stuff. First off is issue 4 of Batman Incorporated. Yes, we're still in Argentina, but we've also taken a slight detour in the story. This is, of course, Grant Morrison, and Chris Burnham is doing the art. Now, I really admire the way Grant Morrison puts together a story. Because, alright, now, up until this issue, I was under the impression that the Batwoman we're seeing in the comics now is the first post-crisis version of this character. That the previous version of Batwoman that was introduced in the 50s and eventually died before the crisis, actually, in the 80s, never really existed in this continuity. So it's like, oh yeah, okay, this is her. And, you know, they have the same name, so why would I think that, you know, there's anything kooky? Well, Grant Morrison's introducing the idea that, no, there was a Batwoman earlier, named, Kathy Kane. And, it's the old origin, although she's, moderned up here a little bit, like she's got a whole goth look going on. And it tells her story, and how she sort of fit into Batman's world, and how she was kind of Bruce Wayne's first love, really, when he was in costume. And there's some really fun stuff here, actually. I mean, Dick Grayson's all pissed off that everybody seems to have a Batcave now, and he has this wonderful line, which I actually think is slightly ironic, considering he's Batman number 2 currently, that, you know, everybody's doing it, so it's taking what's special out of it. And, you know, I do kind of agree. I mean, Jesus Christ, you know, the fucking dog has a mask. So, and also, here's a puzzler, and I'm hoping this gets answered. In this little panel, we see the Betty Kane Batgirl. Betty Kane is Flamebird right now, who's the sidekick of the current Batwoman. So, is this that same Betty Kane? Is now she the first Batgirl, and Barbara Gordon was the second Batgirl, which makes Cassandra Cain the third Batgirl. And or is this a different? Or is it we've had two Betty Kanes be superheroes, and it's just, you know, crazy coincidence that, you know, all these people are named the same thing. Okay, all that complaining, I should be bitching about this. I think this should be stupid, and I should be pissed off. But guess what? Grant Morrison does this brilliantly. The story is very touching and very funny, and very cool, by the way. And also intercuts with Batwoman, the current Batwoman, chasing down some crooks and coming across a imposter dressed up as the old Batwoman, getting in a fight, and getting tied into the mystery that Batman is currently involved with in Argentina with El Gaucho. So it's getting tied together here. Very, hey, you know, this post-crisis, uncrisis, I don't know what this fucking shit they're doing. This may be potentially frustrating, but right here in the story, it's really exciting. With that said, I was really ready to give it, while I was reading it, like 3 Ram chips. Then it got better. Okay, well, I'll give it 4 Ram chips. And then I was like, fuck, I might give this 5 Ram chips. It's like, damn, how do you do this, Morrison? You do shit that should suck. I mean, really. I mean, everything you do is potentially awful, but the way you sew it together, the way you piece it together is brilliant. Kudos. I mean, really. You are possibly the best superhero writer working today. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you make me love stuff I should hate, but you do it just... you do it just so brilliantly. 5 Ram chips. Going over here to issue 2, The Dark Knight, which, by the way, this came out at the same time, so hey, this is on issue 4, and this is not. So it's a little late. This is David Finch, and we pick up where Penguin has Batman cornered with some henchmen and some big guns, and there's a great scene of Batman getting out. I love all this interplay with the trap that he sets against the henchmen, how he gets out of that. And we're getting deeper into this mystery. What may have happened? This girl shows up and steals the Batmobile. And let's see here. Jason Blood enters the and the Ragman enters this storyline. And there's some kind of magic medallion that seemed to be affecting Batman's emotions. Not quite sure what's going on here, but David Finch seems to know. Not too bad. It's all moves at a steady pace, and the art is just beautiful. I love David Finch's art. It's not too bad. I'm going to give this 4 Ram Chips. If this story goes nowhere, then this is, not really as worth it as I thought. But so far, it looks like it is going somewhere. So it's doing pretty good. I like it a lot for the most part. So 4 Ram Chips. Zatanna. I picked this up like 1-2 weeks later or something like that. It's Paul Dini and Cliff Chang doing the artwork. I don't know if he's done Vertigo in the past, but he definitely has a Vertigo kind of quality to his artwork, which is cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that kind of style brought to Zatanna. I mean, she actually has been, in Vertigo here and there. Actually, she even had a one-shot from Vertigo. But anyway, she has decided to see if Oscar was telling the truth, and if her dad accidentally imprisoned him into that puppet body by mistake. Instead of thinking he really was a killer, that he wrongfully did it. But once she tricks him into touching this truth stone or something like that, yeah, he confesses quicker than if he was touching the Wonder Woman lasso. Well, it all kind of backfires, and we have another, dangerous situation. Not as kinky as being tied in the bed, but, whatever. This really good one. I'm digging this series so far. This is, I'm going to give this 5 Ram Chips. Daredevil Reborn. Let me take a look here. We're still with Andy Diggle and David Gladaflies. And Matt Murdock is still fighting corrupt cops and a corrupt rich guy running a small, is it New Mexican town? Is it New Mexico? New Mexico? New Mexico? Yes. New Mexico town. The art, by the way, by Gladaflies? I like quite a bit. It's got almost a Jock feeling to it. Jock does the covers, by the way. It's still kind of generic. See, this is the problem with this story, is if this was just a regular run in the Daredevil series, I wouldn't really have any complaints, although I think this story doesn't need to be, I don't know, how many issues? This is 4. I don't know if this needed to be 4 issues. But if this was just a regular storyline, I really wouldn't be having any problem with this. But, this has been billed as this major story that's going to, change the course of Daredevil. And it's like, this is pretty much, an A-Team plot, really. I mean, the only thing missing is, Mr. D and, God, some gun that shoots foam or something like that, and a car flipping. That's the only thing. Anyway, he comes to meet our villain at the end here, and we have a literal cliffhanger here. I enjoyed it quite a bit, especially the end. I think the end has a nice kind of punch to it. But, oh boy, I don't know. I feel like there's been a build-up to this, and I don't know. It's not as special as they're billing it. Especially when you do like a course-changing story, and you have Born in the title for Daredevil. It's instantly going to compare it to Born Again. It's like, this ain't Born Again. Maybe should have took that off. How about, you know, Daredevil fights rednecks? That would have been probably a good title. Anyway, I'm going to give this 3 RAM chips. I think the quality of the book is here, but, you know, it does kind of run on with the cliches and stereotypes that, you know, I'm used to seeing. So, I don't know. It's not as good as it could be. And I'm investigating Invincible Iron Man, and we're doing a storyline. This is issue 502, and this is, of course, Matt Fraction writing, and it's a storyline where Dr. Octopus is dying, and he wants Tony Stark to see if he can heal him, and not as... He's decided to give... He tells him he's given up on the medical professionals, and he wants Tony to view this as an engineering experiment to save his life, which is an interesting kind of way. He's also threatened to kill his sidekick, well, not sidekick, but, you know, his friend Tim. Well, he sent the Sandman and Electro, you know, to sort of keep him hostage until, you know, Tony kind of figures things out. Unfortunately for them, Pepper Potts shows up, and she has the rescue armor sort of embedded in her body now, like Tony does. So she fights them off here. And meanwhile, it's kind of a match of wits, emotional-wise, because Octopus has had a long-standing hatred of Tony Stark for a long time, and vice versa. These guys really don't respect each other very much. This is part 2, and there's a 3rd part coming. It's been very tense so far. I'm going to give this a strong 4 RAM chips. I think it's been really good. The art's very nice, too. Nice and clean, by the way. But anyway, I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.